You're listening to the 17th edition of the Bitachon podcast. I'd like to do two things today. I'd like to share with you something I saw elsewhere in Madregas Adam, connected to the concept of nisim, of miracles, because Bitachon is about expecting miracles when we trust in Hashem. So I'd like to just share with you something in Tikkun Amidus, which is the reading for this month in Madregas Adam, in the Navardic Yeshivas. And I'd also like to share with you, someone emailed me recently asking about the Shittas, because I mentioned that the Alter Navardic holds that we need to do no Hishtadlus. Shita L'cheves is to do minimal Hishtadlus. There is another Shita, which I may have mistakenly implied doesn't exist, which is that a person needs to do full Hishtadlus. And I just would like to read those Shitas. There's a beautiful sefer, which is very hard to get a hold of it, which HaKadosh Baruch Hu put right next to me in my shul, called Bitachon Hashem, which I borrowed from the library there. And he lays out the Shitas, he lays out all of the opinions. And I'd like to just read a piece from that, hopefully today. So now, here, this is the Alter Navardic. He says that we find in regards to the Meraglim, I'm not going to read the whole thing inside, but he brings down that if we look at the contrast between the Meraglim, the spies, and we look at Yehoshua and Calev, who they did not speak negatively of Eretz Yisrael, right? So what's the difference? What was the difference in their approach? What was the difference in how they saw things? The Meraglim felt, he brings down the Makaris for this, they felt that we were not fitting. Perhaps we were on a great level in Mitzrayim, and I'm saying now maybe it was because we had undergone a very difficult situation there, we were slaves, etc. And therefore then we deserve miracles. But now the Meraglim held that it's not possible for us to overcome the nations there. We're not going to get miracles. But Calev and Yehoshua, they felt that they were able, that the Jewish people would be able to enter into the land of Israel. Why? Because they did expect miracles. Muvur Ramban, he brings down from the Ramban, he says like this, they said we're not fitting to have miracles. We don't deserve miracles. In Egypt we were on a very high level. Now we're not fitting for this. Yehoshua and Calev, they didn't have the same negia, they didn't have the same bias. They didn't make these mistakes. They were strengthened from this. Right? They all saw that people were dying in a strange way. Hashem did it to distract them from the Meraglim, from the spies, and from the fact that the Jews had sent people there. So Calev and Yehoshua were able to see for what it was, that Hashem was doing it to distract them, so they wouldn't notice. In order to save them. They saw, look, Hashem is watching over us. They were able to see that Hashem is taking care of us. Obviously, we do deserve miracles. Even when they saw the giants, they weren't afraid of it. Didn't bother them. They knew that in front of Hashem, those giants are like nothing. And they looked at the same exact situation. Amazing thing. They looked at the same situation as the other 10 spies. They saw the same thing. People dying all around them. Chashuv people dying. Calev and Yehoshua saw, wow, Hashem is doing this for us. It must be that we are ru'uyim l'nes. We are fitting to have a nes done for us. So amnam ben yezeh im royim loy roy ein safek halacha el tzali lefi madregas adam. Now, whether or not we are fitting for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to do a miracle for us, it depends on the level of the person. What determines the level of the person? It's like Chazal say on the pasuk. And by the way, my Rosh Hashiva has mentioned numerous times that this is a Chazal which is oft quoted, but it's not clear where the source of it is. Pasuk says, Hashem silcha yad yaminach. Hashem is your shadow by your hand. Tehillim Kuf Chaf Aleph. Ma'atzil hazeh matamar lo yad. When you pick up your hand and you look at the shadow, so you see that the hand shows you, the shadow is also showing you a hand. If you show the shadow, so to speak, a finger, so then the shadow responds with a finger. So he says an amazing thing. Fact, spiritual fact. If you believe that you are fitting for the miracle, and you can interpret the same situation, two different people in two different ways. Yehoshua and Calev believed, they strongly believed that they were fitting to have a miracle. Don't think for a moment another possibility. This is the very reason why a person will be fitting to have the miracle. He says an important thing. You want to know why the miracles haven't happened in your life, perhaps? It's because if a person is weak in his mind, he thinks, maybe I'm not fitting to have this miracle. That's the very thing that causes a person not to be fitting to have the miracles. So if we want to know, we want to explore, why is it indeed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives what a person expects of him? Sometimes the Bitachon has to do with whether or not they have Bitachon. They believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will do it for them. That's going to be the determining factor. Amazing idea, amazing foundational concept. And here Rav Brog say, recently listening in a shir, he says that the biggest mistake a person can make when it comes to Bitachon is the situation hits them, knocks them over, and they give up. They think, oh my gosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to do it for me. Don't give up. Don't give up. Never give up. I must tell a story I heard from Rav Nissen Kaplan. He said over this Maisa, an amazing mitzamrer, gives a person shivers. The story, even though I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to cover everything I wanted to, but he says this over a story. Someone was saying Kaddish. An old guy was saying Kaddish with tears, with very much emotion. And he was asked, what's the story with this Kaddish? Who are you saying Kaddish for? And he said, today's a yahrzeit of my friends in Auschwitz who died in the gas chambers. So they said, what's the story? Tell us the story. So he says, the old man reveals the story, and he says that as they were coming into Auschwitz, as they came into the concentration camp, so they were having an argument, he and his friends. He said to his friends, they knew where they were going. But the Chazal say, even if there's a sharp knife on a person's neck, don't give up. Don't give up. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can save a person anytime. A person can be Bitachon even in the most dire situation. They said, even here, they said, no, it doesn't apply in a concentration camp. It doesn't apply here. No, he said, even here. They were separated, they were separating between the right and the left. And this guy and his friends, they were sent to the gas chambers. And they closed the door behind them, and his friends said, even now, do you say even now we shouldn't give up? He said, even now, don't give up. And as he finished saying that, the door clicked open, a hand stuck in and pulled out the guy who had not given up. And he went out free. And he heard his friends yell, say Kaddish for us. So he was still saying Kaddish. Now what was the story? He found out later from the guard. Why was it that this guy saved him? Why did the Nazis save him? Pull him out. He said that there was an argument amongst all of the Nazi guards. They were discussing who is more powerful, who has more gumption, who has more chutzpah, who can do something with more chutzpah. And each one was saying the things that they would do. Till finally this guard said, I have such chutzpah that I will go into the gas chambers, pull out a Jew, and no one will say anything to me. And that's how this person's life was saved. The power of Bitachon. Don't give up. Never give up. It goes by how you view things. Two people can view the same situation and come to different conclusions. Two people can say, one person can say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu won't help me, and Hashem will not help them. Depends on the person. Hashem silcha yad yaminecha. Okay, we do have some time. I'd like to share with you from the Sefer Betach Hashem. He goes through the Shitas, and he says there's three different Shitas. Okay, the first Shita is the Shita that a person needs to do full Hishtadlus. The full Hishtadlus. 1 second, let me get to the page here. Page Nun, page 50 in Sefer Betach Hashem. Person needs to do full Hishtadlus. That is the Shita of the Rabbeinu Bachai. Hishtadlus Regila, Shita Rishon Shizkarnu Sever She'ein Al Adam Lamayt V'Hishtadlusoi. Person should not minimize the efforts V'Samtsusoi Lahasik Parnasa in order to receive his livelihood. She'Kasav Arura Adam. There's an obligation. Why? Because of the curse of Adam Harishon. Okay, who is this Shita? So he brings down. This is the Shita of the Ralbag and the Shita of the Rabbeinu Bachai. Interestingly, Ramban holds not this way, who's the teacher of the Rabbeinu Bachai. But that's what he brings down. So we have the Ralbag and Rabbeinu Bachai who say person should put in regular efforts, whatever is the normal thing that a person needs to do in order to attain their parnasa, that's what needs to be done. But of course, I'll read the Ralbag. Person needs to put in full efforts. Even though a person is sure that Hashem is going to help them. According to the Ralbag, a person needs to put in efforts. That's Hashem's will. Person, of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to help the person. Of course, the person has to trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mishu nezer b'Hashem b'dvar ma ein roi mipnei zeh she'ishoyin al hanes. The Ralbag goes, you cannot depend on a miracle. Okay, that's the shita, which he says is not the Rav Rishonim. Hashita Hashniya, he says a second opinion. Oh, and I want to read here. He brings from the Chazon Ish. The person has to be careful. Says the Chazon Ish, since a person is obligated to take action and not depend on a miracle, he brings from the fact that Yosef HaTzadik, he was Chazal said that he made a mistake in putting in efforts. So therefore he did that. He says, don't make a mistake in this shita of doing what you're supposed to do, doing hishtadlus, the normal hishtadlus. He says, don't make a mistake and put in too much hishtadlus. That's a mistake. This a person is not obligated to do. A person is not obligated to go to any length in order to get what they want, in order to get parnasa. When a person goes too far, does too many efforts, puts in too much hishtadlus, so he's throwing away his emunah bitachon. Once it's not an obligation, it's forbidden. Amazing thing. He says, too much hishtadlus, forbidden. Aveira. Okay, that's the first shita. Second shita, Hashita Shniya. Sheizkarnu ba machzikim roiv gedol Yisrael. The second opinion which we've mentioned is that which most of the greats of the Jewish people holds. A person should not wait for a miracle. Because there's a gzera. Without the gzera, a person would not need to do any efforts at all. Person needs to, since it's only the gzera, since it's just a decree from heaven, it's a curse, so you need to minimize, do a minimal amount of hishtadlus, to be yaitze. Miut achar miut v'hishtadlus. He says, look in the Michtav Me'elio, a small amount of efforts. So each person needs to know themselves. What does this mean? He's quoting from the Rambam. Now he's explaining it. This is a general principle that was a general decree that was made upon people. Each person can get out of the decree. Person shouldn't say, oh well, there's already a gzera, therefore I have to do hishtadlus, so therefore I'm going to do a lot of hishtadlus. No, don't make that mistake. Okay, he brings us, this is the sheet of the Chavis Halavavis. So, but still, nevertheless, too much hishtadlus, he says, too much hishtadlus shows a person's lack of trust in Hashem. Brings a story from the Chavis Halavavis, numerous other shitas that hold this way. Brings from the Ramban, interestingly, Rabbi Yisrael Salanter. It brings from Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, who says that the Ramban holds, just like the Madrigas Adam brings from the Ramban, that you don't need to do any hishtadlus. Okay, here's the third opinion. Hashita shlisha she'ezkarnu soveres she'al adam leftach b'Hashem bilvad v'lo lasei shum hishtadlus tivis. He says a person is obligated, according to the third opinion, which is also not the Rav opinion, not to do any efforts, only to trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay? So he brings that's the Shita of the Gra, it's the Shita of the Rambam at the end of Hilchas Shemitah V'Yovel, it's the Shita of, as of course we know, the Altar of Navardik, and it's the Shita of the Sefer HaYereim, I believe. Sorry, he brings, I'm sorry. Sefer Kodem HaNikra Gan HaSkolim, or Gan HaSecholim, holds this way. Okay, he brings all of these shitas, and I'll just mention here and just read to you the end of it, because he sums up the shitas and he says the advantages of each of the shitas. To To sum it up, we need to say, each of the different paths in Bitachon has a different problem, has a different danger. What's the danger of the first of these opinions? If a person thinks that they need to do all of the hishtadlusin, he's going to get too involved in hishtadlus, too many efforts. It's going to make a partition between himself and Hashem. As if to say that without my efforts, Hashem can't fulfill what I want. He brings down, look in Likutei Moharan, Chelik Aleph, Samach Beis. So it's almost certain if a person goes in the way of complete hishtadlus, he's going to fall. The person is going to fall into the idea of it's me doing it. A very serious problem also is that when a person is too involved in hishtadlus, he won't be learning, he won't be involved in his service of Hashem. He's going to be running after his parnasa. Okay, that's the problem. Therefore, most opinions do not hold that we should go in full hishtadlus. It's considered a das yachid, a singular opinion that we don't follow. Okay. Now, when it comes to the third opinion, which we mentioned, the trouble is a person will not do any efforts, right? And what's going to happen? He's not going to wait until what he's asked Hashem to give him will come. He'll come to deny Hashem. So that's a person has to be on that level. Okay? This is a shita that doesn't fit according to this sefer for most people. It's only for specific, special individuals. But even though it's true that most people have to do a little bit of efforts, have to go with that middle ground, that middle way. A person should pine, should desire to get to the highest level of bitachon. Bitachon without any efforts, even though it's a very high level. This is something which every single person can attain. Rav Yosef Yozel Horowitz Zatzal, as the Alter Navardik writes, Al Divrei HaMedrash, Al HaPasiv Emer Le Malach HaElokim B'Chalim Yaakov Loi L'Dorsh Ein Lecha Dorsh Ein Baiki Yaakov. I'm not going to explain this. I explained this in previous podcasts. Ratzu Bazel Lamdeinu Shebe'emes B'Yicheles Kol Adam Lagil Madregas B'Tachon V'Li Shum Siba Klal. Every single person, according to Madregas Adam, can reach the level of trusting in Hashem without doing any hishtadlus. Hayipolim Hashem LeKarev Elav B'Noi Karov Acher Kiruv. Is it hard for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bring his son, his child, closer and closer to him? We need to take one step after another until we get to his holy mountain. So he says that this is something that we have to have a desire for. We have to have a she'ifa for, an aspiration to reach that high level. If we have an aspiration, if we truly desire that, so Hashem will see that, and certainly it will be zechet to siyata d'shmaya, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us so much and He wants to bring us closer to Him. Thanks so much for listening.